Hi everyone, my name's Lou Sims and welcome to my channel. Now today I'm super excited because the wonderful Bibi Cameron reached out and asked if I would like to create some projects with her latest release, which are these beautiful intense liquid watercolour ink. This is one of 7 projects I've created with the inks, but I thought I'd start with a quick and easy card making idea. Bibi has also launched a set of stamps which come with a set of matching block. The bonus about that means that you can find the stamp and put it on the right block. And if you're doing a project that needs to use more than one stamp, it means you have the blocks ready to go. I know that the stamps are available without blocks, so the choice is there for you. For this project, I really wanted to try and test the inks out as much as possible for a card making idea and make them the main focal project. Well, no, make them the main focal craft item I use to create my card. I'm going to begin by using a Versamark ink pad and one of the stamp and create a background. I'm then going to emboss it with ultrafine embossing powder from Wow. Next, the fun part for me. Right, now I've done my background and now this is the time when the inks come into play. I'm going to be using the Tuscany Earth set. There are 4 sets of inks all in this new release from Bibi. 3 sets which have a huge range of colours in them and also a sparkle base, which is like all your metallic colours. So I started out by putting the ink onto a blending sponge and spritzing with water. And I put a lot of water on the first time and the colour was there, but it was a little bit too washed out for me. So the second time I thought, right, I'll put a little less water on and see, how that turned out. And I did like the intensity of that colour. Then it came to the third time, and this time round, I've actually just put the ink by itself onto the blending sponge and rubbed it across the whole of the background. So all the stamping I did previously is now revealed. I like the intensity of the colour now. I didn't mind the lighter shades, but I really wanted to show off the ink colour. Not to waste any of the ink, I've spritzed my mat, rubbed my finger through, and I'm just going to pick some of the residual ink that's left on my mat. That creates, a bit more of a layered background. Taking from the sparkle base, I took the gold and I think I started out being a little bit tight with it. As the bottles are absolutely full, I did put down a little more. I've gone for a smaller paintbrush because I want these little splashes to be tiny, so they're an accent piece, not something that stands out. Now, the next thing I wanted to try was putting the ink on a blending sponge, but using it then as if it was an ink pad. I'm applying the ink directly to the stamp and none of the colour, vibrancy was lost. It worked absolutely beautifully on there. To clean the stamp afterwards, all I did was spritz with water and clean down the stamp with a microfiber cloth. I've chosen to go with the ocean blue and I'm not going for a complete pattern. I want a random pattern. I think in this instance, I did put probably a little bit too much ink on my sponge for this technique. So not to waste the ink, I decided to go around the tag edges. I definitely could have got away with less ink for this technique. For the next set that I'm actually stamping with, I've gone for the emerald green and you can see that I've used less ink this time round and I'm going for a little bit more of a subtler look. It worked just as well and it's a learning curve for me that the intensity of the ink colours means I don't really need to put as much on the sponge as I thought I may need to do. Again, there was still quite a bit of ink left on the sponge, so I've gone around my tag outside just to add the colour in and take away the whiteness of the tags. Then I noticed there was still more ink left on there. So I thought, well, let's see if there's enough ink to go around and edge my card base. And I was really surprised to find that it was. I mean, I don't want a stark outline. I just wanted to see if it would add a darker shade. So I'm starting to learn that a little does go a long way. Using some more of the stamps from the same stamp set, which I didn't mention is called Happy Mail, I'm creating some background pieces to add as embellishments to my finished card. I'm using a VersaFine Claire, the Nocturne, for this, so I can pick up all the fine details of the stamp. The stamp blocks themselves, you can put your fingers inside, which I think is really nice. It really steadies the block, and it then means you have a little bit more control of the pressure that you're putting onto the actual stamp. For this card, I thought it would be nice to do more of a masculine tone to it, hence the colours I've actually chosen. And I'm going to thread all the tags with twine and just begin layering up all the different elements. Now, I really liked the idea of how this all came together. And I did go away after making the video and had a go at creating the same sort of card, but with a different colour tone. So I've gone for and made more of a feminine feel card for the second card that I'm going to share with you. And that's using some of the ink colours from the Bohemian set of inks. I love the fact that I can use absolutely everything within the inks themselves to create all I need for my card, bar a few other incidentals. I can't wait to share my other projects with you using these inks. And if new to my channel, please do hit the subscribe button so you can be part of the journey of seeing the other things that you can do with these inks, because believe me, there are lots and lots of different ways that they can be used. Until next time, take care.